Hi children, welcome back to English class. In our previous class, we discussed lesson 7, how far is the river? And we also discussed textbook exercises. Now today we are going to start workbook part from lesson 7, how far is the river? Now let's go through this passage first of all. Now what you have to do is listen to the passage carefully, then you need to answer the questions that follow. Okay, now here is the passage. I hope all of you are ready with your workbook, page number 40. Are you ready? Now I'm going to read the passage. Workbook part, lesson 7, how far is the river? Read and understand. Part A. Read this passage and answer the questions that follow. A bond with readers. Okay. Now a bond means a strong relationship with the readers. That's the meaning of this title. What's the title of this passage? A bond with readers. A bond means the relationship. The strong relationship with the readers. Okay. Now let's see now. Now what is this passage is about? Let's go through this. Ruskin Bond is the famous writer of hundreds of stories set in his beloved hills. He was born in Kasauli and spent his childhood in Jamnagar, Dhehradun and Shimla. Okay? And his stories are about childhood, animals, family and the beauty of nature. Some are funny and some are moving and some are autobiographical. Okay. Now I said on that other day that biography, the difference between biography and autobiography. If you write about yourself, about your story, life story, then that is called autobiography. If somebody else's biography, if you write just that life history, if you write, then that is biography. Auto means your own biography. Just biography, the somebody else's life story. Okay, now let's go with the next line. His descriptive passages can almost make you smell the cool, crisp air of North Indian's hill stations. His stories are unique in that he is one of the few authors who can read and enjoy it by both children and adults. Now, his stories are not only liked by the children of India, but also not only children of India throughout the world, but also the adults. Even adults like his stories. Okay? Now, let's go with the next line. Read these words spoken by Ruskin Bond about his writing style. They are indeed true. This passage is about, I hope you understood this passage is about a writer called Ruskin Bond of India. He is from India. Okay? This English writer Ruskin Bond is from India. Okay. People often ask me why my style is so simple. People always ask him, why your language is so simple? Your writing part, your language you use in your stories and your books are very simple. Why it is so? Then he answers, of course, some people want literature to be difficult and there are writers who like to make the readers toil and sweat. They hope to be taken more seriously that way. He said that the writers wanted that readers should do some task, like a tough job to understand. They have to shed the sweat to understand their articles. Okay. They hope to be taken more seriously that way. I have always tried to achieve a prose that is easy and conversational. And those who think this is simple should try it for themselves. Now, I want my readers to understand this one. It should be clear and it shouldn't be any ambiguity. Ambiguity means it shouldn't be in any confusion. Okay, now that's all for this. They didn't give you many things, just he was born in Kasauli and spent his childhood in Jamnagar. Jamnagar is in Dhehradun and Shimla. Okay, He wrote stories about childhood, animals, family, and the beauty of the nature. And some are even funny, he said. Okay, now, if you want to know more about Ruskin Bond, you can search in Google and type Ruskin Bond biography. You could know more detail about Ruskin Bond, an Indian writer or an Indian English writer. Okay, fine. Now here are the questions. Who is Ruskin Bond? Ruskin Bond is a famous writer. That's enough. Okay. The first one you could answer very simple way. Let's go like our Ruskin Bond style that he used always the simple language. Now let's give simple answers. Ruskin Bond is a famous writer. That's enough. Ruskin Bond is a famous writer. Could you see the board? I think. Okay, the second one, let's go with the second question. Where was he born and at which places did he spend his childhood? Okay, he was born in Kasauli and spent his childhood in Jamnagar, which is in Dehradun and Shimla. Okay, now let's start. He was born. He was born in Kasauli. Kasauli. He was born in Kasauli and spent his childhood okay, in Jamnagar. Jamnagar, let's write capital. I should remember you all the proper nouns should be in capital letters. Okay. In Jamnagar, Dehradun and Shimla. Dehradun. D-E-H-R-A-D-U. R-A-D-U-N. Dehradun and Shimla. And again Shimla, capital. Now let me remember, proper noun means name of a particular person or place is called proper noun. So whenever you use proper noun, please use with the capital letters. Okay. Now let's go with the third question. Okay. What does he write about? He writes about childhood, animals, and family and beauty of nature. Okay. He writes about childhood, family, animals, and the beauty of nature. Okay. Up to here. Now fourth one, could you see the word? Yeah, you could see the fourth one also. I hope it's clear, right? Yeah, fourth one. Oh, here you can't see, I think, beauty. Little bit I turn. Wait. Can you see now? We have to do something here. Yeah. Now it's correct. Okay? Fine. Then let's go with that. What does the fourth question, that is, okay, why are his stories unique? Why are his stories unique? His stories are unique because they can be read and enjoyed both by children and by adults. His stories are unique because they can be read. The stories are unique because they can be read and enjoyed both by the children and adults. Yeah. Now up to here. Okay. Now fifth one I am going to erase here. Okay. First one I am going to erase. Now let me repeat once again. His stories are unique because they can be read and enjoyed both by the children and adults. And the adults you should write. The adults, sorry. The you have to add an article. Don't forget. The adults. Now let's go with the what kind of actually 6 questions we have. Now fifth one we are going to write. We need wet one, I think wet. Going to dry now. Fifth one, what kind of prose does Ruskin Bond try to write? The kind of prose Ruskin Bond tries, because does is in the question. Let me remember you that whenever you get V5 in the question, that is simple present V5, does, then your answer should also be in simple present, that is V5. Okay, so does, then you should say the kind of prose Ruskin Bond tries, not try. Okay, now fifth one. The kind of prose Ruskin Bond tries to write. Tries to write is it in? Tries to write is. Conversational. Easy is easy and conversational. Easy and conversational. This kind of writing you used to write. Easy and conversational. Okay. And then last one. Does he consider his own style of writing difficult or easy? He considers his own style of writing is easy. He considers his own style of writing easy. Then let's go with the next exercise also after this, and then play with the words. It's very interesting. Let's finish up to there and think up to C, page number 42 up to C. Let's finish today. Yeah. Now, does he consider his own style of writing difficult or He considers his own style of writing is easy. He considers his own style of writing is easy. Okay. The music. Okay, stop. Okay. Like now let's go with the next exercise. For that you have to just pick the answers. Pick the correct meanings of these lines from the passage. Now they want to check how much you understood the passage. Like now let's go with the first one. His descriptive passages can almost make you smell the cool, crisp air of North India's hill stations. This line suggests that option 1, Ruskin Bond is good at describing smells. Option 2, his descriptions are rich, vivid and realistic. Option 3, he loves to write about India's hill station. So option 3 is the correct. Now see, cool, crisp air of North India's hill station. So he loves to write about the hill station of North India. Okay, that's the correct answer. Okay, Roman number 2, take the correct answer. The first one, A1 is 3, third option 3. Now let's go with the B1. Ruskin Bond's stories are described as moving in the passage. This means that they are stories about moving around the hillside or awaken deep emotions in the reader. Third one, cover a variety of topics. Second one is correct. His stories are moving means his stories touch the hearts of the readers, like emotions. His stories touch the emotions and feelings of the readers. Okay. So the second one is the correct. Awaken deep emotions in the reader. Now let's go with the third one. Writers who like to make their readers toil and sweat. These lines means that some writers want their readers to make an effort, think they are better than their readers. Yeah. See, if a writer wants that his readers should struggle to understand his article means, then the writer wants that readers should think that he is better than them. Okay, that's the second one. Think they are better than their readers. Okay, option 2 again. Only 3 we have. I hope you have finished this. Now let's go with the next one. Yeah. Yes, now let's go with this one. Play with the words. Circle the opposites of the words. Now play with the words. That is B1. That is circle the opposites of the words in capitals. Okay. Magnificent. What's the opposite meaning of magnificent? 1, full. Option A. Option B, ordinary. Option C, black. Now magnificent ordinary. The first one is B, ordinary. Ordinary. Okay. Now the second one. I hope you could see the board now. Yeah. Now the second one, doubt. Doubt opposite. Believe, think, imagine. What's the opposite word of doubt? Doubting on someone, believing in someone. Doubt, exact opposite is believe. Okay. B-E-L-I-E-V-E. Now third one, that is option A. Option A. Okay. Now third one, disappointed. Opposite word of disappointed. Options are sad, pleased, miserable. So sad is not, the meaning of disappointed is sad. Synonym, it's not opposite. So miserable also same. So pleased is the B1. Second one is the correct answer. Pleased. Third one is pleased. The opposite of disappointed is pleased. Now fourth one, beautiful. Opposite word, delightful. The first one, options are delightful, pleasant, unattractive. Now what's the opposite of this one? Beautiful is unattractive. Okay. Now here you can take this one, beautiful. Fourth one is C. Fourth one is C, unattractive. Unattractive. Now let's go with the fifth one, incomplete. Incomplete, opposite word they are asking now. Options are hot, complete, boring. So the incomplete opposite word is B, complete. B, complete. Complete. Now sixth one, energetic. Energetic opposite word. Energetic opposite word, unhappy, untidy, lazy. Unhappy, untidy, lazy. Lazy, energetic and lazy are dead opposite. So the exact opposite word, antonym of energetic is lazy. Now let's go with the seventh one, cheerless. Cheerless, the antonym of cheerless they are asking, and the options are cheerful, tiring, unfamiliar. Cheerful, first one, cheerless. Cheerless, opposite, cheerful. Seventh one, A, option A, cheerful. Cheerful. The next one, that is last, eighth one, difficult. Difficult, opposite word, the options are tough, easy, friendly. So eighth one is B, easy. Easy is the correct answer. Okay. Now, before we end up today's class, today's session, let's finish this C. Add the prefixes you and, I am, this or in to these words to form their opposites. As I told you in my previous class, prefix means the letters are a letter that we add before the word to get the new word, to form a new word. Prefix are the letters or a letter that we add before the word, not after. If you add after the letters, then they are called suffix. Now here we are not talking about the suffix actually, we are talking about prefix. Okay, and the prefix letters are UN, first one. The second one is IM. The third one is dis, DIS. The fourth one is in, in. Okay. Now let's go with this. First one, place. Place, which one, which prefix is correct according to you? Place. The first one is unplace, no. In place, no. Displace is the correct answer. Okay. So the this prefix is the correct for this one. Okay. Now let's go with this C. The first one is displace. First one, displace. Now second one, pleasant, unpleasant. You know already this you have come across many a times. Unpleasant, P-L-E-A-S-A-N-T, unpleasant. Then the third one, complete, discomplete or incomplete? Incomplete. My notes is incomplete we speak, but not discomplete. Right? So incomplete. Okay. Then the fourth one, wait, I erase it properly. Okay. Fourth one, popular, not dispopular, not unpopular, 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 unpopular. Fifth one, possible, you know all of you, impossible. It's impossible, we use it, so no more discussion about that. You know this word very well. Sixth one, correct, incorrect, incorrect. Okay, now seventh one, appear. Now let's check, unappear is correct or disappear or inappear. Disappear, the person disappeared after some time. Okay, disappear. Disappear is the opposite of appear. Okay, now eighth one, honest. It's not unhonest and it's not imhonest. It's dishonest. 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 Okay. Now ninth one. Okay, true. I did not do this one. True, untrue. True, untrue. Not distrue. Sure. Are you sure? Unsure. Sure. Opposite. Unsure. Okay, these are all the prefixes that we had it and we form a new word, that is opposite meaning of the word we have formed. Okay children, remaining part of the exercises we are going to discuss in our next video. That's all for today's video and bye bye for now. Have a nice time.